What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, Shiba Inu's price has now made the move that we've been hoping for and looking for the last couple weeks, and now it's time to really pay attention because what happens next is going to be extremely important. So today I'm going to be telling you exactly about what happened, what to be on the lookout for next, and what you can be doing as a result of it. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into it. Now guys, don't forget, if you do want to trade a little SHIB, Bitcoin, Sui, Pepe, Solana, whatever you can really think of, went all the way up to 500x leverage, although I highly recommend you do not go all the way up to 500x leverage. You can check out that BTCC link down below. Guys, when you do sign up specifically with my link, you're going to get a 10% bonus on all first time deposits between $500 and $100,000. This means that if you deposit, say, $3,000, they're going to give you $300 back on the spot to start trading with. And if you turn that $300 into $2,000, $1,000, $800, doesn't matter. All that profit that you generate is for you. You can withdraw it, reinvest it, spend it, do whatever you want with it. It's literally an opportunity to generate free gains during a bull market, which is absolutely ridiculous. About 300 of you are already taking advantage of this now, so go check that out down below if you want. Of course, I do about 50 to 60% of my trading on a daily basis on BTCC, so I do think you guys will like the platform, so go to check it out. Let me know what you think. Now, looking at SHIB, okay, let me give you a quick reminder, quick refresher, one would say, on what has been happening. So, you all know we've been tracking this macro pennant. I've told you all rather consistently, like, hey, if we can break out of this in a good way, right, if we can start really gaining some momentum, maintain support on top of this retracement zone, I think we're in a spot to see SHIB's price start trying to push upwards. And I've told you all, we needed to be watching very closely what happened here. We knew that SHIB was getting about 3 or 4 days away from getting into the 70% threshold, which is the zone in which we usually will see a breakout happen. And we made that video yesterday. Now, funnily enough, we actually did see SHIB's price break above this zone, or this, the structure that we've been tracking, literally like 2 hours after that video released, which was a little bit sooner than I was expecting. But hey, who cares? Here we are. And so the game plan now is to try to figure out, okay, well, now that it's broken out, what are we on the lookout for now? What should you be keeping an eye on? Are there any warnings that I need to issue and just all that good stuff? So now that we're finally seeing SHIB try to do this, let me tell you exactly what to be on the lookout for. And don't forget, guys, if you're brand new to the crypto thing, all this is confusing: structures, pennants, liquidity support, Fibonacci's, whatever. If it's all confusing, or if you're just an advanced trader, someone who's been here a while, but you're simply just trying to elevate and get better, no matter who you are, if you're just someone trying to get better at this whole crypto thing, I want to tell you about my Discord server at the end of the video. So all I'm asking for you, just stick around. I'm going to tell you about what we have going on there, all the crazy value that we're providing from the pro trade teams, the insights, the daily technical analysis reports, the premium classes, the premium courses, the beginners courses, all this crazy stuff that's generating the community some real gains right now. So I want you guys to stick around towards the end of the video, again, if you're simply someone just looking to get better. Okay, now let's talk about it. So as I mentioned before, yes, SHIB's price is now broken out of this bullish pennant that we have been tracking. Now, the very first thing that I want to do is to tell you what needs to happen. There are 3 things that need to happen from SHIB in order for this thing to actually start making progress. Because quite frankly, if these 3 things do happen, I think we're going to see SHIB's price try to push up towards that 3.7 level. I think we're going to try to make a run back towards the 3 threshold. I mean, that could be gains of literally anywhere from 30 to 40%. And so it's very important that you understand the next steps, because now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you the map, and as long as SHIB is on track, we're looking good. Okay, so the very first thing that needs to happen is SHIB absolutely, by all means, needs to be able to maintain support outside of this channel. What I mean by that is if SHIB's price at any given point comes back down within this channel and starts getting these 4-hour closes, it's not a good thing, guys. The primary reason is because, quite frankly, when a crypto is capable of faking out to the upside, meaning it breaks above the resistance point, then comes back down within this channel, it is much more likely that you're going to break out downwards. What that means is that if SHIB's price starts rolling here and the bulls are not able to maintain this breakout, it's becoming incredibly more likely that we see its price start rolling back towards the downside, maybe even falling back towards those 2-2 levels to those 2-1 levels back down here, which we don't want to see. We want to see SHIB's price be able to maintain support outside of this zone, and that is the most important next step. It is the number 1 thing that we need to see next. Now, step 2. Let's say SHIB's price does start doing this, and don't worry, as all this stuff starts happening, guys, I'm going to be here with you every step of the way, giving you video updates as this does play out, but I want you to at least know what to be on the lookout for going forward. And again, step 2, the next thing that needs to happen, SHIB must set the higher high. It must set the higher high on the macro sense, right? Because we have seen a little bit of a higher high there, right, and a higher high here, but That's not the big thing, right? What we need to see is SHIB's price being able to clear the most recent macro high. And the reason being is because you need to understand, even though SHIB has now broken out of the structure, it's still in a downtrend. It's still, on a macro sense, setting in these lower highs. We have a high and a lower high and a lower high. And so until we start doing something different, until we start seeing this bad boy setting higher highs, we're still set into a spot in which we very well might continue back to the downside. And so it's very important that we see SHIB's price clear that most recent macro high up there around that 2819 level. That's step number 2. Okay, so step number 1, back test and hold support. Step number 2, break and clear this resistance. And the final step, the very last thing that SHIB needs to do in order to open this door is clear this Fibonacci zone. From your swing highs all the way down to your swing low, what you're going to notice is that the 2865 level right here is the top of that golden ratio. And if you've been on the channel for a while, you know breaking this golden zone opens up the door for an extension, meaning that if you break the gold box, you're usually going to go up past your previous high. Meaning that in this example, if we break through the gold box at say 2865, it is a very, very, very much more likely that we're going to see SHIB's price push up towards that 3.3 level or possibly even that 3.6 level to the top side. So obviously we want to watch very closely if it's capable of breaking the yellow box or not. And that yellow box does pretty conveniently rest pretty similarly. Like if we do look at this from this perspective, right? The top of that golden box is right here on this second green line I just drew in. And so you can see here that the level that we need to see SHIB's price clear is basically all in the same, right? This little 2816 to 286 level, this little zone right here is really the second and the third goal in order for SHIB's price to be able to make a move upwards. Guys, if we can complete these 3 things, again, I do believe SHIB's price is going to try to make that move towards the 3 levels, and we're finally going to start breaching into some of those higher pushes that we've been looking at, and we might actually start seeing some good gains. 10, 15, 20, 30% gains could very likely be on the way. But as I mentioned before, we start losing some support here and we start seeing SHIB's price fall back in this channel, things might get a little ugly and that might not go well. So although today isn't about setting up trades, it's not about setting up long trades or shorts or anything like that. It's primarily just telling you what to be expecting next. My goal with this channel is to say, okay, look, this is what we're seeing. This is what we're looking for. And as those things that we're looking for start to happen, I'll tell you what to do as a result of it, or at least what I'm going to do in order to try to make gains. That's the goal here. So sometimes it's not about, okay, this is exactly what we're longing. This is exactly what we're shorting right now. Sometimes it's, okay, we just broke out. Here's step 1, 2, and 3. If those 3 things happen, boom, we're looking good. We're going to probably open up some long trades, stop losses set, etc. Maybe we re-enter back into that channel. Not so good. We're probably looking to the downside. Maybe some sort of tight stop loss short trade is on the way, right? Things like that. And so today's video is more focused in on saying, okay, now that we've broken this channel, this is what you need to be on the lookout for. So step 1, again, back test, hold support. Step 2, clear 2816. Step 3, clear 2862. Once we do these 3 things, the door is wide open to the upside, and I do expect we're going to make some moves. Now, I will go ahead and say, I did do a little bit of buying on SHIB here, a tiny little purchase here, just for funsies, okay? I actually did go, let me go over here into the Discord. I said a bunch of pissed off commenters on my last SHIB video combined with the possible breakout here for SHIB is good enough for me to do a little dollar cost average. So yeah, everybody was saying a breakout's not coming, it's not on the way, you're dumb, blah, blah, blah. And it's funny because we broke out literally 2 hours later. But, when you get those moments where people are kind of getting a little pessimistic and then you get some decent price movement, I'm like, it's probably a decent time to start building up some, building up a little position there. On a more macro sense, we did see like this little cup and handle pattern forming, and we were also back testing that as well. So I was like, you know what, breakout on both of those accords. I think there's a decent sized chance it pushes upwards, so I'm going to do a little bit of buying. So I did do a tiny purchase here, but I'm not really all too excited about it. I'm more focused on getting through this zone, because once we get through this zone, then we can invalidate the thoughts of this continuing downwards, and then we can start opening our eyes to the top side. So watch very closely these 3 steps, because it is going to be extremely important. And as I mentioned before, as SHIB's price does start interacting with these levels and start working its way through these steps, I will be making video updates for you, letting you know what is going on. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if you are someone who is new to the world of crypto, or you're advanced, or anyone, you're just simply trying to get better, I want you to check out the Discord group. Now, in order to get access to the Discord group, you're going to have to go through Patreon. It's either $5 a month or $17 a month. So it's like a Netflix subscription or even cheaper. But what it's going to get you access to is crazy. So you're going to get Insights with Tyler, which go over my thoughts, my opinions, my insights on things that I'm seeing in the news or just events or price movements, whatever. Sometimes I give them what I'm buying and what I'm selling, portfolio changes that I'm making. For example, I had this purchase of Pepe down here. We broke to the upside, 10-15% gain on that. Purchase SUI right here, 20% gain on that. So some of these purchases have done well. Bought this meme coin, for example. This bad boy went up 50% after this before pulling back, right? So a lot of great things going on in that part. We have daily technical analysis reports, daily fundamental analysis reports. We have 2 professional trade teams, people who get paid to trade, people who live off of trading, giving their buy and sell signals every single day, especially throughout the week. We have premium classes for those of you who want things even more in detail. For example, I use the Fibonacci's every day, so I did a masterclass on the Fibonacci's. Me and Sam did a 5 keys to bull market investing video not too long ago and gave them all of our notes from that as well. There's going to be premium live workshops starting next week where we're going to bring coaches in to start doing some live workshops. There's one beginner's course that's released, and there's going to be 4 more coming out soon. This one was on technical analysis. It's about 30 minutes long, 25 minutes long. It comes with a 17-page PDF of all the notes and information that I had from that, and of course a couple cheat sheets as well. I have one releasing on leverage trading in a couple days, and then the next ones will be on fundamental analysis, meme coin investing, and altcoin investing. There's also Tyler's tips, which are these little mini 2 to 3 minute long videos going over just random stuff about, you know, things I do, like certain settings I use, certain websites I use, and stuff like that. And then of course there's the amazing community that's been smashing it. I mean, look at the gains that this community has been putting out recently, dude. Like, the server's only 2 weeks old, and I mean, you can see it 70%, 200%, 50%, 50%, 140, 4,000, 300, 170, 40. I mean, it goes on and on. I'll just scroll through it a little bit. It goes on and on and on and on. 150% gainer just printed in there an hour ago. And so because of that, obviously, this isn't luck. This is people actually learning, and there's value being provided here. So go check that out down below, for the cost of a Netflix subscription or even cheaper. So I feel like it doesn't get much better than that. So let me know down below. And again, if you are more advanced, check out that 10% bonus on first time deposits between $500 and $100,000 over on BTCC down below. So let me know what you think. Do you think this breakout is going to last or not? It's kind of hard to tell at this point, so I'm just going to be watching it closely. And as we do get these developments, I will keep you guys as updated as humanly possible. I post 5 or 6 videos here every single day on the channel minimum. So if you have been enjoying that, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.